So today is August 24th, 2026, which for me is exactly 10 years to the day since I took my first college class. I have the notebooks here, August 24, 2016, which is quite a while ago. I have a whole stack of them here. I've somehow not thrown these out. Anyway, so I was flipping through the notebooks and it's really got me thinking. Schools all over, high schools, colleges, elementary schools, they're all starting up again. It's that time of year. And there's just so much conversation around education, the role of the university, the role of like younger education, people using artificial intelligence. I just saw a picture of a map that was AI generated for a middle school, and it has the wrong names for the states. And people are asking questions like, why bother to learn? Or what should I learn? What's information is going to be useful still in the future? What if I spend all my time in college or in school learning this one thing and then it's outdated by the time I graduate? And so people are pretty rightfully, I would say, questioning what is the point of education. That's a big topic. I don't have the answer, but I thought I would sit down for a second and make this video for anybody who's watching this, but especially if you're 17, 18, 19 years old, you're just starting college and you are wondering, what's the point? What am I supposed to learn? What is important and what's not? So this video is for you. I don't know what you're studying. Maybe you don't know what you're studying either. Maybe you haven't declared a major yet. And I'm sure you've heard many people say that what you study might not end up being what you do. That's all true. So I'm not going to bring in too much of my specific classwork. What I am going to bring in is just the idea of projects, assignments, things that you're assigned. No matter what your major is, you're going to be assigned some kind of work. And that starts as early back as kindergarten. You're going to be asked to complete a task. And if you think about it at all, usually you can realize the task itself is not really that important. Even like a term paper, and you're supposed to be up researching it, and you might find yourself wondering, like, what is the point? Am I going to get a job when I finish writing this paper? Is this going to materially affect what I do tomorrow? Why am I spending all this time on it? And it's especially, that's a very prominent thought, at least it was for me, on assignments that don't seem so big, like reading responses, like a quick little paragraph or a multiple choice, all these little projects, all these things. It's like, what is the point of this project that I'm going to throw away and never see again? None of those individual projects will really matter. And if you feel like they don't matter, you're probably right. But the real project is you. You are the project. And if that sounds overly sappy or semantic, I don't mean it to be. I just truly mean the point of a 4-year education, or any type of education, is you. It is to turn you into the type of person you are trying to be. Now, I don't mean that in like a narcissistic way where the whole point of all of these people being here is for me only. You're not the only person in the world to exist, and you're not the only person that matters. But you do matter, and it does matter that you turn into something good. You throw the project away, right? But you take yourself with you. The point is the product that you become. And I hate that I use the word product there. I don't mean to make it sound like you're a commodity. The person that you become is what matters. So let me unpack that a little bit, because I did just say a second ago, the little projects along the way don't really matter. What matters is you. That's true. That is true. But it's kind of like, I don't really go to the gym, but it is kind of like, the individual rep that you do, like the individual curl is not what matters. What matters is your fitness. But you can't get fit without the reps. You have to do all the little boring steps along the way. So when you're given a task, you might like it, you might not. It might be easy, it might be hard. It might seem smart or it might seem stupid. You might really question the point of the assignment. And that's fair and that's good. But just remember, when you're deciding whether to try and do it correctly and to the best of your ability, or if you are trying to just skim past it, don't think about the project itself. Think about you, and think about which version of this little P project will make me into the best capital P project possible. And that doesn't mean you can't, some things are not worth spending all your attention on, for sure. You have to pick and choose where you're going to spend your effort and your time. I skipped a couple classes in my day. Not a lot. I liked going to class and I was paying for it, so I went. But it's perfectly fine to make a value judgment about which projects you spend effort on. But just because you can't see directly how the project is going to apply to your life doesn't mean it's not worth doing. opening up this book, which this class that I was talking about here, this was a humanities class. It was part of like a Great Books sub-program. It wasn't my major, but it was something I was part of. So we started off with reading like the Odyssey, which at the time was like very, I really had no idea what I was getting into. I'm very glad I did. So I will briefly talk about what I studied. So I studied film production. Now here I am on YouTube. And I made a lot of projects, a lot of films. I have some of them on hard drive, some of them I don't have anymore. And a lot of them were bad, pretty bad. And not only that, some of the assignments themselves, I would argue now, were a little silly or they felt like busy work. That happens. You're going to get questions like that all the time, or assignments like that that you don't like. So the point wasn't all the different scripts that I wrote or videos that I edited and tried to put together. I've forgotten most of them. The point was to hopefully turn me into someone who can make film projects or videos or YouTube videos, as it turns out now. The goal was not those individual papers I wrote. The goal was to turn me into somebody who could do what I was trying to do. In the same way, like my classes that were in that Great Books program, where we read the Odyssey and we read Thucydides and a lot of other authors that I don't really remember everything. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. But the point of those and the essays I wrote was not the exact essays. Like I have some here. The point was to help me learn to think and to just realize that there's more out there than just my little world. I was the project. Now the goal is not for you as a project to become me. The goal is for you to become your own thing. The goal is just for you to become. And that takes work and that takes time. All the little things don't really matter, you're right. But they matter because they're turning you into who you're going to be for the rest of your life. So I will bring up AI really quick at the end here. I hate to end on that. It feels like a bummer. But if there's a chance for you to use it to make your work easier, you are correct. It probably won't matter that much, if you use it to write a paragraph for you. But at the end of the day, it is like trying to become a runner by using a wheelchair, even though your legs are perfectly healthy. Over time, they won't be healthy anymore. It takes a lot of time to build a self. It really does. Just the reps. The reading, the writing, the living, the going out late at night and hang out with your friends, all of those things turn you into you. So don't take that opportunity away from yourself right now. And I'll just close with a quote. I don't know who it's from originally, but I learned it from Stan. So Stan, if you're watching this, thank you. Maybe you were quoting somebody. And it's from November of that first semester. And it says, "Never let college interfere with your education." If you're being given assignments that you think are a little silly, that might be the case. But you don't have to be silly. Your education matters a lot. You matter a lot. And so it's a tough world out there. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. There's so much information. There's so much misinformation. There's so much debate. But you matter, and your education matters. So if there's any way I can be of help to you, if you have any questions about reading or our education, I'm not a genius or a PhD. I don't have a master's. I'm just a guy who likes to learn. So if you have any questions about that maybe I can be helpful with, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to. But good luck. Go study well. Do a great job. You matter. You are the project. And I hope you have a great day. And hope 10 years from now you can look back and be happy with what you've learned and the person you've become. And that you can look forward to a long life after that as well. See ya.